Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to break down the highly diverse and honestly sometimes surprising ancient legal codes found in the 22nd chapter of Deuteronomy. We're going to move pretty briskly through this text, going from everyday neighborly disputes right up to life and death verdicts. Let's get right into it. So let's kick things off with what sounds like a bizarre question. What do a fallen donkey, mixed fabrics, and a city gate actually have in common? Well, in this ancient text, these completely unrelated things combine to form a really comprehensive worldview governing early society. All right, Section 1, Civic Duties and Safety, the Everyday Laws of the Community. These early community laws heavily emphasized mutual responsibility. You couldn't just, hide thyself from a neighbor's lost property or a struggling animal. You had to step in. It even includes some early wildlife conservation. If you happened to find a bird's nest, you were allowed to take the young, but you explicitly had to let the mother go to prolong your days. And this perfectly illustrates their focus on practical, preventative safety. When building a brand new house, the law mandated a battlement, basically a low wall on the roof. Why? So you wouldn't bring blood upon your house if someone accidentally fell off. It's essentially an ancient OSHA building code. Moving right along to Section 2, Laws of Separation, establishing ritualistic boundaries. A crucial theme here is the strict prohibition against mixing different elements. This is best highlighted by a super famous rule that outright banned garments woven from diverse sorts, specifically mixing wool and linen together. But these separation laws went way beyond just fabric. Farmers couldn't sow their vineyards with diverse seeds or plow with an ox and a donkey yoked together. The text also establishes really rigid gender boundaries, explicitly stating that wearing garments of the opposite sex was considered an abomination. Now, alongside what not to wear, there's an affirmative fashion mandate. The text required making fringes upon the 4 quarters of the vestment used as a covering. Clearly, clothing was a highly regulated symbol of identity. Okay, Section 3, Marital Disputes and Evidence, the trial at the city gate. Here the text breaks down the exact legal mechanics for handling a major domestic dispute. If a husband accuses his new bride of not being a virgin, her parents had to physically bring the tokens of virginity, the bedcloth, to the city elders at the gate. The elders would then review this physical evidence to render a judgment. The penalty for a false accusation was incredibly specific. If the physical evidence proved the husband lied, the elders fined him exactly 100 shekels of silver, which was given straight to the bride's father, plus he permanently lost the legal right to ever divorce her. But the text impartially notes the severe alternative. If those tokens of virginity are not found, and the accusation is true, the men of the city are commanded to stone the young woman to death at her father's door. The stated legal intent here is to put the evil away from among them for committing folly in Israel. Which brings us to Section 4, Adultery and Assault Laws, How Geography Dictated Ancient Justice. To really understand the mechanical logic of these ancient laws regarding a betrothed virgin, we have to compare 2 very distinct geographic scenarios, an incident happening in the city versus an incident happening out in the field. You see, this legal distinction was based entirely on location. In the city, the law assumed the woman could have cried out for help, so both parties were deemed guilty and stoned. But out in the field, only the man faced death. The court presumed she did cry out, but just couldn't be heard, explicitly comparing the crime against her to murder. Now, if a man forces a virgin who is not betrothed, the outcome shifts yet again. The penalty for this, he pays her father 50 shekels of silver, she legally becomes his wife, and, just like the false accuser earlier, he is totally forbidden from ever divorcing her. The chapter then quickly concludes with one final strict boundary, forbidding a man from taking his father's wife. This heavily reinforced the patriarchal structures of the ancient household. As we wrap up this short explainer, I want to leave you with this thought to consider. From building safe roofs, to managing livestock, to handing down severe verdicts at the city gate, what do these highly specific codes reveal to us about the values, the order, and the structures of early civilization? It's definitely something to think about. Thank you so much for exploring this fascinating text with us today.